Challenging relationships. We've all got them. They're all around us. From that rude checkout girl to that egotistical know-it-all coworker, and even our close friends and family. Today, I'll share some practical tips on how to manage those difficult relationships that you can't kick to the curb. Welcome to Exceptional Living with Kathy. Today we're talking about challenging relationships and how to manage those difficult people that we can't kick out of our lives. Relationships are such an important contributor to exceptional living. Relationships satisfy that basic human need to connect with others. And while I'm sure we would love for all of our relationships to be blissful and harmonious and happy, that just isn't the case. We love to celebrate our uniqueness, but not when it's in conflict with others. And while those pretty quotes like to insinuate that we should just kick to the curb any negative people in our lives so we can create and foster positive, loving environments for us to grow and thrive in our own being, well, that's just not realistic, is it? Dear my best friend, I wanted to let you know that all the times that you call me with your problems and complaining about your job and all the negative things going on in your life, I find them having a negative impact on me. I no longer want to be friends because your negativity is greatly stopping my positive flow. Best of luck with all your problems. Hey Mom, how are you? Good. I've just been doing some soul searching. I feel like you're so negative all the time and everything you say to me and about me is so negative that it's really impacting my energy and my vibe and my ability to live my best life. So Mom, I think it's best for the both of us now if we just terminate this relationship like forever. Okay, so thanks for everything you've done, giving me life and all of that stuff. And this is just what's best for me, okay? Okay, I'll talk to you never. Bye. There's going to be many different types of challenging people that we're going to encounter. There's always going to be people that say things that set us off. But in every situation, we always have a choice to choose differently. We don't have to choose to be offended by someone else's words or actions. And while we may be hurt inside, we don't have to always be offended. When dealing with a challenging person or in a confrontational situation, one question I often ask myself is, do I really need to be right, or would I rather keep my peace? And most of the time, I feel like I would rather keep my peace. See, when we get angry and offended at people, what happens is we just hold on to those feelings inside, and that doesn't do anybody good. I love that saying that I heard, that staying mad at somebody for something that they've done to you or said to you is like inhaling poison, holding your breath, and hope that the other person dies. It doesn't make sense. You have to make choices that empower you in your life. And I know this is easier said than done, but I'm just hoping to plant the seed today within you to know that you have the power to choose differently. When somebody offends you and you're feeling hurt by something somebody said or something somebody did, or you might even be feeling embarrassment, they may have embarrassed you in public, the easiest thing is to take a step back and to wholeheartedly forgive them. Because the longer that you stay angry and resentful and bitter, the longer you're filled with those negative emotions that you don't want to walk around with in your everyday life. So forgiveness is key in dealing with difficult and challenging people, which is a great segue into my next tip, and it's compassion. We don't always know what people are going through in their personal and professional lives. We live in such a fear-based society now, where people are walking around in constant fear. Fear of getting sick, fear of losing their job, fear of not having enough, fear of not being enough. And sometimes this comes across in conversations that we're having or interactions that we're having with other people. So having compassion is really key to keeping your peace, because that's what this discussion is about today, and how to keep your peace in dealing with difficult people. When the people are closest to us, we care about them the most, and we love them so much that it makes it more difficult when they don't want to hear what we have to say, especially when we feel that we are absolutely right in what we're telling them. But we have to be compassionate with others and accept where they are in their journey, because they may be nowhere near you where you are in your journey. So you trying to tell them what to do is only going to make them feel more disempowered. So when you're in a difficult situation or dealing with a very challenging personality, take a step back and say, how can I see this situation differently? How can I be more compassionate in this situation, even if the end result is not getting what I want? Because we don't always need to be right. We don't always have to get what we want, especially when it comes to the lives of others. So how can you be more compassionate in these difficult times with difficult people so that you can keep and maintain and hold on to your joy and peace? And the last tidbit that I want to leave with you is attention creates intention, which is really important. So I want to ask you, how much time have you spent thinking about how you want to feel in your relationships? In your relationship with your boss, in relationship with your coworkers, in relationship with your partner, in relationship with your children, with your mother, with your grandmother, with your father? How much time have you spent to think about how it is that you want to feel? It's really important for you to give the attention to how you want to feel in your relationships, because if you haven't taken time to think about it, then most likely you're not going to feel those ways in those relationships. You have to decide how you want to feel in your most personal, close relationships. And that doesn't just mean your family and friends, that also includes your coworkers and the people that you spend a lot of time with. How do you want to feel in those relationships? How do you want them to support you? How do you want to support them? Relationships, they require attention. So it's time that you give your attention to how you want to feel in your relationships. And then once you're able to identify how you want to feel, you're going to start creating those situations, and you'll feel empowered to turn a negative situation or a negative conversation into a more positive one, because you have set the intention by giving your attention to how you want to feel. Remember, when you're in those challenging situations with difficult people that you can't kick out of your life, that the keys are forgiveness. Remember that you always have forgiveness available to you in that moment, so that you can choose not to be offended by their words and not harbor any negative feelings. Compassion. How can you be more compassionate with this person, even if they're going against what you say? How can you be compassionate to them as a human, as a person, as somebody you care about, as somebody who may be going through something that you don't even know about? How can you use compassion to keep your own peace? And remembering that attention creates intention. If you want to have intentional, fulfilling, loving relationships, then you have to give your attention to how it is you want to feel. I hope these tips can help you in managing those difficult, challenging people in your life that you can't kick out. These are great tips to moving towards more exceptional living in your everyday life. Thanks for joining me, and if you love this video, don't forget to subscribe below. There'll be a new video every Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Kathy, and this is Exceptional Living.